Hello, everybody. Welcome to a direct-filled episode of Who the Hell Hast. I am your host, Byron, alongside my co-host, Slade. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic, and I hope all of you are doing fantastic because tonight we have a guest on the show, and I'd like to welcome everyone to my dear friend, my good sir, YoshiPhoenix. How's it going, Yoshi?
Why, hello, everybody. My name is YoshiPhoenix. How's everybody doing this wonderful night?
I honestly
Uh,
can't complain. Got to watch a pretty fantastic direct. Honestly, lots of really interesting news. I know in an earlier episode this month I kind of boldly said that we weren't getting Nintendo news for a really long time, and then they announced this like what 2 days ago, and then dropped it today. Boy, do I
Yeah,
feel stupid.
you're wrong. Yeah. Well, actually, technically, last night on the day we're recording this, which is like very early on the 24th.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, I felt that there hasn't been a Nintendo Direct. Like, it's been like commonly like it's been happening so many times every year. Every September, there's always a
that is
Nintendo Direct
true.
of any
But my
kind.
mindset was when I was like, "Nah, there's no way we're getting a direct." Was October is stacked as hell. This was before the direct even came out, full of titles, and there was a lot of stuff already announced for this winter. So I was like, they might wait until like January or February. I don't know, Byron.
But
What
yeah.
did you think on it?
It was a fun direct. Let me tell you that. That's the word I would personally use to describe this one. Just fun, I guess. If I had to describe it in a word.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I was ready for disappointment for the Nintendo Direct. I didn't know what to expect from this game. Like Slade said, everything was stacked for October. Like, what else can they like announce for the direct? There was like really nothing left. They could have shown off, I believe.
well,
But
like from what I could see, because they said that it was going to be mostly focused on holiday and winter titles. There's a lot of
Nah,
stuff announced for spring next year.
nah. Nintendo said, "Fuck that.
They lied.
We're announcing it for everything but winter." It seems.
Oh
So let's
yeah.
get into some of these announcements here.
All right.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I just thought that that was really interesting that like we seem to get everything but that. So
Yep.
let's go ahead and start going through our announcements one by one. Starting with our very first one, Monster Hunter Rise. Is it Sunbreak?
Yes,
Logo?
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak coming summer 2022. It is an expansion for a big expansion for Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh wait, it was an expansion. That was like a whole brand new game.
No, it's an expansion because it requires Monster Hunter Rise to play.
Yeah, I imagine it's gonna be a pretty large expansion, like probably like at minimum half of the game. I know typically with expansions, Monster Hunter tends to go like all out, which is pretty insane. And I don't think this will be any different. I think the dragon they showed off after the Rathalos was like a new type of enemy entirely.
Oh.
So a lot of people talking about that. I play Monster Hunter Rise with a lot of people in the Mario Party TV Discord. It's pretty fun. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that summer of next year. I imagine we'll probably get more info as time passes on that. You guys have any additional thoughts about Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak?
Honestly, I'm just surprised now learning that it's a it's just an expansion. Because I was here thinking like, wow, this is like the third game this year or third expansion of some kind from Monster Hunter being released. Like, wow, guys, slow it down with the Monster Hunters.
Yeah,
There
honestly,
has been a lot of
Capcom's been
Monster
on.
Hunter. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
been a lot of Monster Hunter for sure.
Yeah, Capcom's definitely been filling up the chalice of Monster Hunter content and just chugging it down everybody's like throats and whatnot.
Yeah, come on,
Yep.
Capcom, like leave some for the other games.
Right. So, moving on to our next topics, and we're not doing this entirely in the order of the presentations themselves. We're obviously not going to cover absolutely everything, but next thing we're going to go over is the Animal Crossing Direct announcement for October.
That's right.
Oh
So
boy.
there will be new for those who remember. Yes, Animal Crossing did release a game in 2020. It's called New Horizons. I know everybody probably dropped it 4 months in. But yeah, the big thing that they showed during the direct, Roost is coming. Yeah, Roost. Roostin' is a coffee shop. But yeah, there'll be a direct for more information sometime in October.
Yeah, Yoshi, what do
I'm
you think about that?
honestly, because I'm kind of, at least I was back on New Leaf, an avid Animal Crossing fan for that time only. I was excited to see that finally, like the fans been speaking out like, "Where's Roost? When are we getting the DLC for Roost? We've been waiting for this for a year at this point." And I'm actually excited myself that they finally like added something brand new because they've been like reusing like old stuff from last year events, and it's like, oh hey, here it is again. Cool. Like, all right, can we get like something brand new now? Because you guys said that we're gonna start getting like constant updates, constant new things
Yeah,
after every
honestly,
update.
it did seem like that the fans of Animal Crossing did appear to be pretty starved for new content. Like Byron said, a lot of people dropped it within 4 months of the game's release, and the fact that they're holding a separate direct for it leads me to believe that this the content expansion that they're doing will be pretty massive in nature. Otherwise, I don't know why they'd hold a direct otherwise.
Well, they
Yeah.
could be talking about more content than just what we're going to be getting like now. It could
I
be
mean,
like some other near future content as well.
I'm kind of hoping for like the same thing they did for New Leaf. Like they had like, all right, here's the base game, and now here's like a brand new like expansion, like how Monster Hunter is doing with their expansion. Animal Crossing could do the same thing. Add like a whole bunch of new stuff all at the same time, like the new amiibo. I think it was called new amiibo on
Yeah,
Animal
new
Crossing.
amiibo update. Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah.
That was completely massive. You get like a bunch like 200 new things, new items, new mini games,
Oh,
new
welcome amiibo.
villagers.
Yep,
Yeah,
welcome.
welcome Amiibo.
Yeah.
I'll say this: it probably takes a little bit longer for them to develop additional content, just because it's on console now versus, handheld. So, well, I mean,
Yeah, that
technically
and
the Switch is also a handheld, but y'all get what I'm saying.
that and Pocket Camp. Wink, wink.
Yeah. So,
The only
go
Yeah,
ahead.
the only thing I'm a little disappointed about though, maybe they'll announce this for the direct, but I'm really hoping for like any type of multiplayer like content because that's what it was lacking the most. Like, sure, your friends could come to the island and everything, but they can't do anything really.
Yeah, you think
They can
they'd
help.
add some form of like multiplayer, like mini games or like stuff like that to add that replayability factor.
They had that for the 3DS version. Like you could go online, meet different types of people that's not even on your friend list, random people or people from the worldwide. Like, all right, cool. I hope they expand that in the New Horizons. They didn't do that.
Well, as I said, I myself I could never really get into the Animal Crossing series and whatnot. Probably because it's just like not my cup of tea. But I think with enough expansions and like we were just saying, maybe multiplayer mini games in there, that could definitely be something that brings a lot of people's attention back to their second highest selling Switch title of all time now, just behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So the Animal Crossing Direct was not the only game that got a expansion announcement for a separate presentation.
Oh nope.
Oh,
Smash. Smash couldn't show its ass here at the direct. Like I was hoping for some salt character to break the internet, but nope, we gotta wait another 12, 11 days for this.
To
The
be
final
fair,
Mr. Sakurai presents 10 a.m. Eastern.
yeah. So to be fair, I think a lot of people expected that Smash was gonna have its own separate presentation. It would be in line with what they did with the end of Fighters Pass 1, as well as the end of Smash 4 DLC when they had the announcement for the last Smash 4 presentation with Corrin and Bayonetta and all that.
I guess I just expected it to be here at the Direct because I would think more eyes would be on a regular Direct than a Sakurai Presents, which gets quite a lot of live views. But
I think they wanted
Honestly,
to send the game off with its own thing.
yeah, I
that's fair. That's
slightly
fair.
disagree with it. I assume that maybe Nintendo Direct isn't big enough for them to announce the final DLC character.
Big enough.
I didn't expect a whole Smash Direct on its own. I expected to wait till like a big event, something like maybe Game Awards or something.
I think
Yeah,
that
I
would
saw
be
a lot
too
of that
late.
speculating go around too.
I
I
think
don't
that would be
necessarily
too-
think so. I think if it was, showed at the Game Awards and dropped the same day, it still fits that 2021 window that they were aiming for.
Yeah, but I figured they would want to do the announcement on their own time.
And maybe they didn't want to like extend the Direct because it was already a long Direct. So
Yeah, it was already
add it-
40 minutes. Speaking
Yeah.
about, the direct link and whatnot, I think it was really neat that they showed, Animal Crossing and Smash, like, hey, we're going to have separate presentations for these. Just to get, like, the rest of the announcements, like, really rolling and whatnot. I felt like because they didn't have to dedicate so much time to Smash and Animal Crossing expansion in this presentation, that we got a lot of really good in-depth looks at other content. So,
this is what I like about Nintendo Directs. It's to the point, move on to the next game. I don't want to see like one game they explain the game for 20 minutes and that's the whole Direct.
Usually that problem goes with like fucking RPGs at every goddamn Nintendo Direct.
Byron's the RPG hater in our group, guys. You'll have to forgive him. He does not
Hold on,
know
look.
the
I
evils
enjoyed.
he commits.
Hold on. I enjoyed Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, you joined the entry level RPG with single digit math. Of course, Byron. Of course.
Yeah. All right.
All right, enough pumpkin fun. So overall, I think I'm really looking forward to the Smash presentation. There's one thing that caught my eye, as well as many other people's eyes. The date of the Sakurai Presents is on the same day of the release date of Nick All-Star Brawl. Your guys' thoughts on that?
If it feels like I think we will never go an episode without somehow mentioning Nick All-Star Brawl.
Well, let me add on to that too. I'm not sure if you guys are avid fans of this game, but not only is Nickelodeon dropping that day, it's also the remake or remaster of the Monkey Ball game also dropping on the 5th.
Wait, that's oh, Jesus.
The 5th is going to be a crazy day.
October's 2-pack, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, October, guys. There's like 20 games that are all worth getting coming out. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But no, so my question for you guys is this: do you think Nintendo intentionally saw that the All-Star Brawl game was releasing on the 5th and thought, let's one up them and release Smash Brothers content on the exact same day?
No,
Didn't even
that
that.
sounds ridiculous. No.
That sounds interested.
Just some conspiracy tinfoil hat theories.
I could just imagine Slade putting on his ball hat. Right?
Oh yeah, I love the tinfoil hat.
I mean, I could be like one of those guys and say maybe that's like Sakurai usually like do things to give us hints on the characters. So maybe one of these games might be like hinting of a character from that game into Smash.
If it's a fucking Monkey Ball character, nothing against the Monkey Ball series. It's a great series, but I'm gonna fucking scream if it's somehow.
I
Maybe
actually did not
SpongeBob.
consider that. Oh my gosh, Monkey Ball and Smash would actually be hype.
y'all are Illuminati thinking right now. Like all the stars have aligned.
I'm saying SpongeBob maybe because it also advertises the new game they're having and Nicktoons at the same time.
No, I don't think Nintendo would want to draw, hey, go get this game from like a literal competitive fighting platformer. It just feels like they would feel like it would detract from Smash. And ultimately, they don't want that, especially since this game's rolling out with like way better net code and stuff like that, and ultimately just looks really embarrassing for Smash overall. So,
Oh yeah, if you want
just
more
worried
of our
about
thoughts on Nick All-Star Brawl, click the iCard.
oh yeah, for
that-
sure. All right, so moving on to our next topic because we may do a final Smash character speculation video. Let us know in the comments if you want that.
Of course,
Let's
who the character is, of course, covering that.
Let's talk about something that Byron, that all three of us really are very excited for. We were super excited to see Mario Party Superstars.
Yes.
Oh,
They announced technically 3 things at this direct. First, I'll get into the lighter thing. Mount Minigame. It's a multiplayer mode where you beat people, try to get the most wins in a row at minigames. Second, Daisy confirmed as a playable character. And third, the boards, and let's talk about them.
All right, so Daisy being confirmed to me is like absolutely zero surprise. I think she's been in every Mario Party since Mario Party 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So
every main
that was never in question for me. Her and Waluigi were always going to be in this Mario Party. I think we could move on from that pretty quickly.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised people even thought that these characters won't be joining the game.
Well, you never know with Nintendo.
All right, so let's talk about the boards, particularly the fact that there are 2 Mario Party 1 boards.
No, they're not. No, I am correcting. Yeah, it's a Mario Party 1 and a Mario Party 2 board. Correcting you on that.
Hold on. I'm talking about total out of the 5 boards.
Oh, yeah, total.
Yeah. There are 2 Mario Party 1 boards, 2 Mario Party 2 boards, and only 1 Mario Party 3 board. Guys, why do you think that Mario Party 3 got the shaft?
Nintendo just hates Mario Party 3 for some reason. Even though it has the most mini games in this whole package.
I honestly don't even understand Nintendo's hate for Mario Party 3. What was the problem with Mario Party 3 in Nintendo's eyes?
Well, in a Mario Party Discord Byron and I are both a part of, there's been some speculation that because it has the lowest sales of all the 64 Mario Parties, and this was partially because it released the same year the GameCube came out, that because it sold like pretty poorly compared to the other 2 Mario Party games, and I don't even think it sold poorly, it just didn't sell as amazing. That's why Nintendo kind of, when it comes to the nostalgia factor, always look towards, 1 and 2. And they tend to overlook 3 compared to those 2 titles.
Well, Nintendo overlooks 1 for a different reason.
Yeah, very interesting reason.
Speaking of Mario Party 1, the first of 2 new boards revealed, Yoshi's Tropical Island. How do you feel about that, Yoshi?
Of course, when I first saw that, like, oh my god, did they return in this board?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks amazing, dude. Like, I love the high quality. I love, like, the graphics and everything of how, like, everything's updated. Like, oh, this looks so good.
It does. Not my choice for a second 1 board, but graphically it looks good, and hey, who knows? Maybe they made some changes we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, for the hardcorest of Mario Party fans who like play the series out there, the board is typically very anti-competitive in nature in the original Mario Party game, but that's most of the boards in Mario Party 1. Peach's Birthday Cake seemed to get enough changes to where that wouldn't be the case with that board and their little Let's Play. So they could rebalance some of the issues that Yoshi's Tropical Island had in Mario Party 1. I won't bore you all with the details, but let's go harkens back to when Byron and I speculated when they first announced the game. It looks like they went with boards that were thematically pleasing to look at in appearance in terms of like what boards they selected. Because I think they picked not only that, but also the Boo board as well as Wispy Woods.
Yes, and speaking of that Boo board, Horrorland from Mario Party 2 is here as well. That's the other new board revealed.
Oh, yeah. The one small disappointing thing that there is no costumes for that board.
Also, no Western Land. That definitely, as some people said.
Yeah, but Horrorland's still a pretty good board.
No, it is, for sure. And I think it just, fits in theme with what I was saying, that they picked all boards that had a different aesthetic that were all, really pretty to look at in like a modern, graphic day and age overall.
And fun fact, it's a Halloween board releasing in a game that's releasing like 2 or 3 days before Halloween.
Yeah, it's
How
October
fucking perfect.
29th, isn't it? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
28th.
28th.
Oh,
28th.
28th.
Yep. But how perfect though?
Yeah, and it looks like those are the only 5 boards we're getting because they seem to be pretty adamant when they advertise the game. Select,
Yep.
these from these 5 classic Mario Party boards.
Yep.
And I don't feel like we're getting any more boards. I think 5 is pretty clearly what we're getting.
Yeah, no
unfortunately.
DLC as much as I would love a just one Mario Party 3 board as DLC or free LC. Just please.
I mean, I guess it
Killing me,
makes
Nintendo.
sense. Like every like game after the N64, like the board has been like very massive in a way. Like looking at these boards, these 5 boards, like they seem like pretty small. Like not as small as Super Mario Party's boards, but it just seems very small. Maybe they updated that. I'm not completely sure.
They look small from these angles, but these are pretty big board. Well, some of these boards are pretty big boards. Like Mario Party 2 has some big fucking boards.
Oh, yeah. I think it's because they want the characters and players to be able to take multiple laps around the board. So you're not you're getting to experience the full board in a playthrough.
Yeah. Which is fair. Which is fair. Which is very fair.
Overall, we're definitely we're all very excited for the release of Mario Party Superstars. For those that are uninitiated and unaware, the Japanese website for Mario Party Superstars actually has a full list of every single mini game.
Yep,
the game will feature.
100 mini games. Yep. So we'll link that down below if you want to have a look at that.
But overall, very exciting stuff. I think Super Mario Party for us and a lot of people was somewhat disappointing. Yes, it was a step in the right direction to get everybody out of that car and back on a board. But I think this is the Mario Party we've all been asking for. And sincerely, I just hope the sales reflect that when this game comes out. Because I feel like even though we praise the 64 and the GameCube Mario Parties, people don't realize in terms of sales, those weren't anywhere near as successful as Mario Party, 8 and onwards.
Mario Party 8, Mario Party DS, Super Mario Party.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that this at least would sell decently well because usually like nostalgia is what's selling this game at this point.
Yeah,
We have
I do have to say though, there is a history. With the exception of I think 6 to 7, every subsequent Mario Party game on the same console has sold less.
Yes, and that's what has me concerned, is they're going to see that this one sells less than Super and take the wrong lessons away from it. So
Maybe, but we'll see. We'll see about that.
If I have to buy 100 copies to make them make more Mario Parties, then I'll do it.
Let's not go that far. We do not encourage you guys shilling for corporations and buying billions of copies of their games to influence their business decisions. Life very rarely works out that way. We would not recommend it.
All right. Can we talk about something that's not coming out in October?
Okay.
And that's coming out. That's out now. Mario Golf stuff.
Yeah. So expansion where they announced 2 new playable characters as well as 2 maps. Koopa Troopa and Spike, not Spike, Ninja. Sorry, Ninja are going to be playable characters in Mario Golf Super Rush. Yeah.
Yes. Koopa, expected choice. Ninja is like, what?
Isn't this Ninja's like first appearance since a very long time? Like maybe like since Paper Mario Sticker Star?
Well, Ninja was in Super Mario Maker 2.
Well, yeah, but that's Super Mario Maker, which is based off of Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, etc.
Yeah, I think this is Ninja's first playable appearance ever.
Well, yeah, I think they just like to go out of left field with some of these characters sometimes. For example, King Babam being in Mario Kart World Tour circuit.
Yep, and in this game as well.
And in this game. Yes. So, honestly, I think Ninja's pretty cool overall. I think it's nice to see more novel Mario characters that you don't normally get to see. I was clamoring for Wart myself, but nice to get, a type of character from the same game.
Yep.
Yeah, and seeing that gives them a good chance too.
Yeah. future Mario Party games. And we got 2 courses. We got a beach course and we got a snow course, which look kind of interesting, especially the snow course because of all the wind and stuff.
Oh yeah, the wind sounds like it's gonna be like a killer thing to deal with. So
Yep. Blusterberry Basin is the name of the snow course, and Spiky Palms is the name of the desert-themed course at dusk. So that's some interesting new content to look forward to for Mario Golf, and it's out now.
yeah, so if you guys have it, just download the update and enjoy yourselves. Honestly, so
That was another
Yeah.
surprise too for me. That saying like, oh, you get it now?
Yeah, like I think this was the only like shadow drop.
no, I think they had another shadow drop today.
Probably a demo for fucking Triangle Strategy, I think, right?
No, that already came out.
Oh.
Well, I guess we could talk about Project Triangle Strategy next, but they were talking about the feedback from the demo and what influenced their decisions on some of the changes. Though honestly, I don't think all those changes were done because of the feedback from the demo, but because they're just quality of life changes that should have been in there anyway.
Yep.
Outside of loading screens, because everybody complained about loading screens.
I feel like some of the feedback they just using it to sell the game, but they're saying like, oh hey guys, we listen to our fans.
Yeah.
Were the loading screens Sonic Colors Ultimate bad?
Yeah, they're pretty awful. They're pretty awful. But that's okay. I am willing to like look past it because it was a demo. And honestly, the team behind Project Triangle Strategy does the HD 2D games for Square Enix. I'm absolutely in love with the work that they do. I've probably said a billion too many times, maybe not enough on this channel, that I would love to see a Pokemon game made by them, as well as a bunch of other old school like RPGs. Like they just do an amazing job. So okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's stick with Mario here. Let's talk about arguably the most bizarre news of the entire Direct. The animated Mario movie, and most importantly, its cast.
Yes, so it is coming to theaters holiday 2021. Oh no, holiday 2022. Excuse me. And I think 8 characters had actors and actresses revealed. So let's go through them one by one. First, the main man Mario will be voiced by Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Definitely threw me for left field. I think, to voice my opinion, most of the Mario characters have their own like static voice actors that they've had for like the last 10, 20, even 30 years almost.
Yeah.
So I think for most of these roles, they make a lot of sense. I feel like I can't imagine anyone else on Mario other than Charles. So
yeah,
Chris Pratt, he does fantastic work, right? I can't picture it. It's just so weird.
Yeah, and plus Martinet is gonna be in this. He's gonna have a voice role in this.
But I'm surprised they didn't cast him for Mario though.
Same.
Like if he's acting in the movie, why wouldn't he play Mario?
From what I understand, he's not gonna have a major role. It's just gonna be like a bunch of cameo appearances and whatnot. Yeah. The movie seems to be taking a kind of like more not really serious approach, but what's the word I'm looking for? It's the movie itself is taking itself very seriously. So they grabbed some of the best, names out there in the industry.
Yeah, just
so let's keep going on this insane roller coaster. Luigi is being voiced by Charlie Day. Interesting choice for Luigi.
Well, I said Mario and Luigi are the most bizarre ones. I think for Donkey Kong and Bowser, they got the best 2 people.
We'll get to
them
in a minute. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think of Charlie Day as Luigi?
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well. It's a very interesting choice, to say the least. It's one of those things I just can't really picture without hearing it. Because the thing is, Mario and Luigi, but more Mario in that sense. With the voice actors outside of who they have now, it's just hard to like imagine somebody like actually putting lines to them without being, as bad or awful or weird as, the original Super Mario Bros. Movie, as well as that really old animated cartoon way back in the day.
Yeah.
That's what I had in mind when they didn't roll Charles for these characters. Like, oh, maybe maybe these guys gonna sound similar to the way they've been like in the old cartoons, like old gruffy New Yorkers.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The old Deke cartoon.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I grew up on those guys, so
Yeah, we all did.
Okay.
All right. Peach is being voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy, who is a relatively up-and-coming voice actress.
That is correct. I believe she appeared in Soho and whatnot. I think that's the name of that show or movie. She's won quite a few awards and whatnot. She seems to be pretty well known in the industry. As I said, I don't think Peach. I think Peach is one of those characters where like they could put somebody on there and like not too many people, if anybody, would really like bat an eye at it.
Yeah.
I think to me, outside of obviously Mario being voiced by anybody that's not Charles, that's the big eye popping thing.
Yeah.
I think the big two that has everybody like talking outside of that would be the voice actors for Donkey Kong and Bowser, and you could tell that I'm wanting to talk about this.
And there's a third character, and I'll add that character's image in a second. But first, Donkey Kong is being voiced by Seth Rogen.
Yeah, comedic
That's
titan.
choice.
Yeah,
That's
Yoshi, what do you think about that?
This the regurgitating what you've been saying this entire time. This is not really sitting well completely with me. Like it just don't seem right, especially since they're giving Donkey Kong a voice as well.
I guess it's not as unnatural to me because I watched the Donkey Kong cartoon, that little like CG like shit show as a kid.
Oh right,
and I loved it. It was like I loved it so much.
I blame that for my memory. You just brought it right back.
Like, bro. So I don't think it's as weird, and I think honestly, Seth Rogen, because he's like a comedic genius, he's going to do a very good job. Honestly.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do all right. This one.
Oh yeah, the other one, Bowser.
Bowser is being voiced by motherfucking Jack Black.
Yeah, that I honestly like. Everything about this just stuns me.
That one drove me in for a whole loop right there.
Because like Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong, like, oh wow, they got some really big people to do this shit, and then they just draw casually Jack Black as Bowser, and I'm like, oh my god, but it works. I honestly think it works. I think out of all the characters that got like roles to like reprise whatnot, he is definitely the most fitting out of all of them.
Yeah, 100%. Like this is the perfect character he could fit. Even he fits Bowser's character really well, and especially if it's like a comedy movie. I mean, it's like a children's movie, but I'm
sure it's gonna be comedy.
There's gonna be hints of comedy, yeah.
Not just hints of comedy. I think it's gonna be a full blown comedy. Like you don't get Jack Black and Seth Rogen if you're not aiming for comedy.
Yeah, and there's one other person you don't get unless you're going for comedy. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
Yeah. I'm just like, wow.
This is both the worst, and best choice. Because Toad has that high-pitched voice, and Keegan-Michael Key is going to do both high-pitch and low-pitch.
Right.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, he can't just be, like, one particular Toad character. Maybe, the main one that's going to be following up.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the main Toad, or if...
What if he's hundreds of Toads?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, he has to play different types of pitches for every Toad.
Oh my god!
If he voiced every Toad,
holy crap! This movie.
Yeah, and the final set of characters that we got were Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Fred Armisen is fucking Cranky Kong. And
Surprising.
Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike, who I assume is the guy from Wrecking Crew. But I could be wrong on that.
No, I think Spike is in terms of the generic Mario enemy, and
Yeah, that's
Super Mario
Okay,
Bros. 3 and
character
Super Mario World.
Kind of looks like the character a little bit from Wrecking Crew, but I could be wrong.
You're probably right. That's just what I thought of Spike. I had to rewatch it. That's what I thought they meant by
That's
Spike
fair.
is the
Yeah,
Mario
that's-
enemy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I assume the same thing. I didn't even see the icon.
Yeah,
But also fucking Cranky Kong.
yeah, the fact that Cranky Kong and Kamek are in this movie, I don't know like what that means in terms of plot, or whether we should even dig into that shit show to begin with.
I mean, I can understand Kamek because Bowser and Kamek, that's the duo you can't like have separately. They work too well together to not have them.
Yeah,
the
especially
movie.
because like Kamek's like the OG from all the way back in Bowser's like infancy. From Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's on one of the greatest 2D platformers of all time. You heard it here.
Yeah, Kamek is like the dad for Bowser at this point.
Yep.
Like,
But
Yeah.
what actor and actress choices?
Oh, for sure. So, for the uninitiated, this is being animated by the same people who made the series Teen Titans Go, as well as the film Teen Titans Go to the movies,
It's
to
also being
the disappointment of many people.
also Despicable Me.
oh,
Which,
yeah,
that's not as disappointing. Despicable Me is fine.
Well,
you
they
can't-
also birthed the Minions, the modern
about to
day Rabbids. So
That's
you can't
true.
not mention them when you think of elimination.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
This will be interesting to
this,
say the
yeah,
least.
interesting is definitely the word I would use to describe what's going on here.
I mean, at the same time, that means like the character, at least I feel like the whole movie itself is gonna be very bubbly if you
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it is Mario. I'd hope they move past the like super like gruff like grittiness of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Well, at least unless you don't talk about like the original Mario Brothers movie.
No.
maybe
Yeah,
go
we
in that
definitely don't
direction.
talk
We don't
about that.
Speak of that movie.
That
in this
movie
house.
is one of those movies that is so bad it's good.
Uh,
Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So, our next topic, possibly the most exciting announcement of the entire direct, at least it was for me. The brand new 3D Kirby game.
motherfucking
Oh my
Kirby
God.
in 3 goddamn dimensions.
That was the
Yes.
hypest moment for me for that whole direct right there.
Yeah, just like some cartoonish looking post-apocalyptic kind of like world. And then you just see motherfucking Kirby. Like,
I have
what?
seen many memes. Kirby Last of Us.
I'm getting Odyssey vibes from the game, honestly.
Kinda, yeah. Like a lot of franchises have had their quote Odyssey, you could say.
Well, I mean,
Or-
not just
well-
in terms of like the type of game it is, but I mean like in terms of like graphics, like how it looks and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
As I said, Odyssey was definitely the game I got the most vibes from when I was watching that Kirby game. Yoshi, what do you think of it?
I absolutely love it. I at first I was thinking maybe like when they first announced it, like maybe Splatoon, but no, it wasn't. There was no ink anywhere. Like okay, I see like how colorful this is. Like oh, maybe this is Kirby, and then boom, Kirby shows up on the beach. You're like oh, this is Kirby. As soon as they show the gameplay, oh my god, 3D Kirby. This is like the thing I was like I streamed this and I the thing I did like okay the next direction Kirby games have to go because Kirby has been stuck in spin-off hell on the Switch. I feel like every time there's a new Kirby game there's gonna be a bunch of spin-offs in the middle and then a new Kirby game. Seeing Kirby in 3D like this is like the only way that Nintendo could make a new Kirby game. There was like they can't do 2D again
Yeah,
after doing Star Allies.
Oh, for sure.
Allies.
yeah. Absolutely. And the Kirby fans are erupting with pleasure for this.
Oh yeah, I like when I saw the trailer and whatnot, At first, it kind of like I've made comments previously. I don't know if I've done it on the channel or just in conversations with friends and with Byron. That I thought Kirby was one of those characters in series that outside of Kirby Air Ride and like racing games or with the specific gimmick, Kirby just didn't seem like a character that would fit a 3D game. Simply because of like his floatiness, and I don't know how platforming and stuff would work with Kirby, but no, the game looks fantastic. I definitely think there's really something there that they've shown. I'm very excited for it. I think honestly, it's the game I've been the most excited for. I think since the original, or not original, the first Breath of the Wild. Like, believe it or not. That's including Smash Ultimate.
That's actually bananas. That's actually bananas for you to say.
Yeah, because like honestly, looking forward to like new 3D platformers. And I know I've said this on multiple occasions. I felt like before Ukulele came out, really 3D platformers really just had Mario and the occasional. Well, some third studio does one every now and then, but the primary gimmick isn't platforming; it's always something else.
Yep.
So the fact that we're seeing more of these 3D open world type of games, or I guess in this case it might not be open world, it might be like, linear like level progression, but that doesn't make it bad. Basically all I'm saying is I'm very excited this is the thing.
Yep. And it's coming kind of soon.
I'm again looking forward to this game because it looks like it works how a 2D Kirby would play too.
But 3D.
All the mechanics of
stuff, yep.
Yeah, it just seems like a Kirby game. Like they didn't drastically change too much. They kept the formula of how it works, and they made it work.
And they kept what made Kirby.
Like I said, that comes out in spring 2022, I believe.
Yep, spring 2022.
So look forward to that. Honestly, next year is looking absolutely effing stacked for games, which up until October this year was a bit of a slow year. So. Yeah,
surprising.
Honestly, incredible. So here's a game that I think a lot of people were both disappointed and somewhat happy to see in a weird sense of a way. We've talked about Mario Kart pretty extensively on this channel, and Yoshi hasn't been a part of that. But a lot of people have basically, the large consensus of, we're sick of Mario Kart 8, we don't like Mario Kart Tour, we want a new console Mario Kart. We want Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 9's not happening for a lot of reasons, but we are getting a kart racer. Ladies and gentlemen, Chocobo Grand Prix made by Square Enix.
Yep. Mom, I want Mario Kart. Son, we have Mario Kart at home. This is Mario Kart at home. It's Chocobo GP. Holy shit. Did not think this would happen again.
Yeah, it was pretty bizarre. Yoshi, what do you think about the game?
Love it. I love it already. It's beautiful. It's just as cartoonish as Mario Kart. Final Fantasy mechanics in a kart racing game. I never thought this would ever happen.
Honestly, me neither. I think the game that I get the most vibes for isn't even Mario Kart. Do you all remember Diddy Kong Racing way back in the day?
I kind of see where you're getting.
The progressing items where you grab multiple the same item and get stronger and whatnot. Yeah, that's the vibes I was getting from it. I was like, oh my gosh. If it has like a single player like story that's anything like Diddy Kong Racing, I'm fucking sold. I mean, I'm already sold, but like I would literally throw my entire wallet at the screen if they confirm some sort of single player story.
I feel like it'll have, if there is a single player, it'll somehow have RPG elements because it's Square Enix.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but in a racing game too, like RPG elements in a racing game, that's like two genres that should not work together.
Yeah, you upgrade your car.
Yeah, you upgrade your car. Exactly. Yeah. No, actually, no. Byron's onto something. An RPG style like racing game sounds like it would be crack. It would be so amazing. I would never stop playing it.
I'm afraid of those random encounters in story mode.
Random encounters while racing.
Jesus Christ. I could not imagine random encounters.
That sounds like it would be amazing. Holy shit.
God. It's coming out 2022. It's Switch exclusive, at least at the moment.
Yeah, so 8
yeah.
people per race, not a whole lot. Obviously, not to the 12 standard.
Oh,
But
they also
64-person tournaments.
yeah, eight teams of 8 people mode. What the fuck?
That's really surprising. I'm surprised Mario Kart hasn't even done something like this. Sure, they have like their own tournament thing, quote unquote tournaments.
It's like a point system that honestly kind of feels like you're gambling and hoping to get lucky more than actually showcasing skill and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely the right way to do it. So,
Yeah.
obviously, as you can tell, Yoshi and I, maybe not Byron as much, are very excited for Chocobo Grand Prix.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be something.
I just want to see whether or not we're gonna get like cameos of Final Fantasy characters or Dragon Quest. It looks like it's like small mascots, like maybe like you'll see like Slime as playable or something. But obviously you won't see like Cloud, Sephiroth, or Tifa or nothing like that.
Yeah, I see that.
And if you somehow see Cloud, Sephiroth is gonna be right there. Forever.
You can't have a good time, Cloud. I said no.
So you guys mentioned a game earlier. We'll quickly touch on this. Triangle Strategy. It's coming out March of 2020. March 4th, 2022.
Great to
that's
finally
not
have
too
a
far.
release date on it. Yeah. So Yoshi and I are very excited because for those that don't know about Yoshi but do know about myself, we are both pretty massive Fire Emblem fans, and we're just fans of the genre in general. I love Final Fantasy Tactics. I've been playing that type of game since I was like just a wee lad. So we're both very excited for Project Triangle Strategy. Yoshi, what did you think of some of the updates that they made in response to the demo?
Honestly, I wasn't. I didn't even at first. I didn't even know there was a demo for the game. I should have known that because they probably like released it like on the E3 or something. But seeing the game again reminded me like, oh, this is a game I wanted. It looks absolutely beautiful. I'm surprised like all this quality of life stuff they just added wasn't in the game.
Well,
Like this is stuff that should already be in the game, like a difficulty option, game speeding up for certain things. Like you don't want the game to be slugging when it releases.
I'll say this for turn-based RPGs. Typically, a lot of turn-based RPGs actually don't really have the difficulty settings. They kind of just have like a standard playthrough that they only have to balance once for everyone to play. But this is not a standard RPG. This is a strategy RPG. So this is similar to the vein to Final Fantasy Tactic and Fire Emblem. And Fire Emblem, for better or worse, has a lot of difficulties that all vary the quality of the playthrough you're having based on what mechanics they add to some of those difficulties. But overall, I'm very excited for this. I think I'm not really quite sure how much feedback they pulled from the demo. I know the one thing people complained about was like loading screens and whatnot. So it seems like they are addressing that and just loading in general. But outside of that, it kind of looks like that's just quality of life stuff that you would expect to be in the game. From my experience with the demo, and Yoshi and I talked about it a little bit, when you're playing the game and whatnot, after playing like lots of Fire Emblem games and whatnot, it just kind of feels like when you move on like a grid-based map and whatnot, it feels somewhat slow compared to like Fire Emblem where it feels snappy. I'm not, as I said, Yoshi hasn't played it. He didn't even know the demo was there. But that's just the general vibe I got from playing the demo. Overall, we're very excited for this game. We can't wait. For those of you that aren't, aware of some of the other work the studio's done, they're most famous for Octopath Traveler, which came out in, I believe it was 2017 or 2018. I believe it was 2017. It was the first year of the Switch. And this isn't the only, HD project they're working on. They also make the Bravely Default series. Mm-hmm. And most recently, they're remaking Dragon Quest III in their HD 2D style. That has a lot of Dragon Quest fans really excited. So definitely check them out. They do amazing work. I've been saying ever since Octopath Traveler came out, I would literally kill somebody in this room right now if we could get a Pokemon game made in this style. So, Byron, watch your back.
All right.
Oh,
So, speaking of the wait, let me give you a number: 1,385. It has been 1,385 days since there was Bayonetta 3 news, and well, we got it today. We got it during the direct. It happened. Hashtag it finally happened. Bayo 3 has been shown.
That is
Oh my
correct. And,
that was absolutely crazy, dude. Like a game that everyone been wishful thinking for to get some type of like information on, but at this point, I believe that everyone like kind of gave up. Like there isn't going to be information on the direct. There's no news on Bayonetta. It's not happening. It's going to be in development hell at the same time as Metroid 4. That's what
Yeah,
everyone just
hell, there
assumed.
was a Twitter account that was counting down the days since Bayonetta 3 news.
oh, yeah, that's probably where you got that number, too. So,
Yep, exactly.
honestly, I never felt like Bayo 3 was in that same kind of development hell that Metroid Prime 4 is in. I just felt like it was announced far too soon for the game overall. And now that we've gotten, a nice actual trailer of the game to look at, Bayonetta is rocking braids now and whatnot. And
Oh my god.
honestly, as a big fan of the hack and slash genre, things like Devil May Cry and whatnot, I'm really excited for this game. I honestly can't wait till it comes out. And the fact that it is coming out next year in spring, insane. Absolutely insane. Or wait a minute, did it just say 2022 release date or did it say spring?
It said 2022.
Okay,
And
well,
I'll
it's
put
next
that
year.
up on-
So I guess it's in the same vein as Breath of the Wild 2, sometime next year.
So to add on that 2022 is going to be absolutely stacked of amazing games.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
Project Triangle Strategy, Bayonetta 3, Breath of the Wild 2. There's
Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah, Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of RPGs, I'm sorry. I'm curious on you guys' opinions on the new Square Enix game genre they're trying to do. A game called Voice of Cards, like a top-down card RPG.
Yeah, I did take notice of that. I don't think it would personally be my cup of tea, but I think the fact that we're seeing a bunch of original Square Enix IP coming to the platform itself and appearing to be exclusive to the Switch itself shows that Nintendo and Square still have like very strong relationship, which is great. Yeah, it didn't seem like it would be my cup of tea overall. I would have to say I'd need to see more like actual gameplay before I made a decision one way or another.
Like the first thing I thought when I saw this game, like, oh, this reminds me of that mini game from Mario Party 5 called Card Party. Oh, it's just like that.
Kinda.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Now that you said that, now I'm thinking it.
Yeah, and for context, Card Party was a bonus mode in Mario Party 5.
uh,
For the context. So one last major piece of news. There was a Nintendo Switch Online update.
arguably the biggest news of the entire presentation.
Not one
surprising
console.
news.
Not one console, but two. We're getting both Nintendo 64 and the Sega Genesis. Holy shit.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis definitely caught me completely off guard. I was like, oh my god, wow. Because
The biggest surprise.
yeah, a lot of people were expecting to see, Game Boy, support and titles and whatnot. But for them to drop like, nah, bro, we got the Sega Genesis.
All right, so
Wow.
first off, I want to talk about the controllers. The Genesis, it's not. I'm a little surprised it's not the 6 button, but whatever. You got to be a Switch Online member to get these controllers, which I think is disappointing, especially for the N64 one. But my biggest issue: why didn't they put rubber on that fucking analog stick? Well, I'll get into why I'm mad about that in a moment, but they fucking should have.
Oh, I know what you're talking about too.
Which one? The N64 controller or the Sega controller?
The Genesis controller never had an analog stick. I'm talking about the N64.
Yeah, I was about to say, because the 64
Motherfucking
controller
Sora.
did get a rubber top. That is insane, especially with how people spin those things. That controller is going to, like, any Mario Party game, is going to last maybe a year before those joysticks are unusable.
Alrighty, but before we get to N64, let's talk about the Genesis.
Yeah,
So
wow.
so its launch lineup is Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hard Corps, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Echo the Dolphin, Golden Axe, Gunstar Heroes, Musha, Phantasy Star 4, Rise Star, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, and Strider.
Yeah,
Quite
interesting lineup of games. I think the one question everybody had when they saw it was Sonic 2 is the most iconic Sonic game on the platform. But I think a lot of people wanted to, or were surprised to see that Sonic 1 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles were not also here.
And Knuckles.
So
I was one of those people too, like confused, like why isn't Sonic 1 here?
I think those games
Update.
are going to come later in updates. Yeah, like Byron's saying. So I think this is a fantastic lineup. Phantasy Star 4 in particular is one I'm very excited to play. As a big fan of the series.
I'm surprised we're getting Sega Genesis because Sega has been doing like collections, Sega Ages. They've been re-releasing their classic games on their own, which I think that's probably why it shocked us and probably a lot of you watching that we got Sega Genesis on NSO.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that came right out of left field. Alright, okay, because I seen like you're right, Byron, because they've been selling the games like in every little console, or they just sold separately for these old type of games. Seeing them now, well, kind of free with NSO.
We'll get to that in a moment.
It's just really baffling, and especially that we're gonna be getting new games every month too.
Well, okay, it's not going to be every month. They changed that with the start of the SNES because it's going to be just whenever the fuck Nintendo gives us updates. So,
no.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about pricing, because I think a lot of people were surprised to see that they're going to charge extra for the 64 and the Sega Genesis titles.
I don't think people were surprised for N64. I think Genesis is the more surprising one.
Well, no. Let me reiterate. People are surprised. They're not surprised the 64 is here. They're surprised that their Nintendo Switch online subscription that they are already paying for will not also cover 64 and Sega Genesis. You will have to spend more money to get this.
Okay. A lot of the people that I've seen talking about this did speculate that, oh yeah, if they do N64, they're going to increase the price because, that's just how they do it.
Yeah, but that's not the point I'm getting. The point I'm getting at is I feel like outside of paying Sega royalties to have like the Genesis or whatever, so like they give them, some of the money for the Nintendo Switch Online subscription so that, Sega is getting, a nice deal out of it, right?
Yeah.
I think ultimately, if they don't introduce any new features outside of this for Nintendo Switch Online, I actually think, depending on how much the price increase, it's a complete ripoff.
100%.
We don't know that yet.
It's
coming in late October, but price increase is unknown at this moment in time.
I'm going to go rant mode for a minute. Just looking at this overall is exactly why Super Mario 3D All-Stars was a limited time release. Considering that Super Mario 64 is included with, the 64 pack and whatnot.
Yeah. We'll talk about the N64 lineup in a minute.
I think a lot of people who paid $60 or $70 for that expansion, or not that expansion, that collection, now feel incredibly ripped off that Super Mario 64 is going to be included with NSO and the increased NSO upgrade.
I wouldn't Okay, there's one reason I wouldn't necessarily say that. Well, because like if your subscription lapses with NSO, if you have 3D All Stars, you at least still get to play Mario 64 and two other great 3D platformers.
Uh,
Especially if you have it physically.
Well, for me, the add-on to the rant, if they're going to be increasing the price for Nintendo Switch Online, what I'm actually hoping for, like, depending on how much they increase the prices, we're paying $20 a year.
Yeah.
If it goes up by $20 or more for this expansion, then and we don't get like an improved online service as a whole, then I will definitely feel like getting ripped off because now we're getting close to the point to the same price point of Xbox Game Pass and the PlayStation. I'm not sure what they call it on their system.
PlayStation Network.
Yeah, network. Like if
Yeah.
we're getting closer to that price point and we're not getting like the same like type of connection that they're getting, then is it really worth the price just to get games?
Well, here's my
At the
2 cents
same
on
time?
that, because I 100% agree with you, and I think it's absolutely scummy. And I know Byron's gonna somewhat disagree at this point. If they increase the price so much that it's now a comparable price to PlayStation Network and Xbox Game Pass, then here's what I need to see at bare minimum from Nintendo to not feel ripped off. There needs to be a voice and party chat feature, first and foremost. That's 100% necessary for me. The fact that we're paying for an online service and it doesn't already have that is already a joke. But if we were to pay even more and still not have that, blasphemy. Just absolute blasphemy. The next thing I need to see for this to not feel like a because I'm not just saying just this one thing. It needs to have both of these things. We need to have more apps that are available on other platforms for free that are included with, Game Pass and PlayStation Network and whatnot. I need to see other apps like Netflix, Hulu and stuff like that. And I think Hulu is already on Switch, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
seems
need
to
to
be more-
see all the mainstream apps also on Switch. This is my bare minimum.
Okay.
This is my bare minimum. I think we need to have this for an increased price of Nintendo Switch Online to not feel like a complete and total ripoff. And I didn't even bring up improving online connections for games and stuff like that. That's just my 2 cents.
All right. So first off, Yoshi, I doubt this is increasing by $20. At most, I think it's going to be a $10 increase.
Even then, I still think that's a bit much.
Second, 2A, I don't think the price increase necessitates having to have the mainstream apps. I think that's more of an issue just between Nintendo and the makers of.
Well, I'm saying Nintendo needs to figure that out. Is what I'm saying.
Either it's an issue with Nintendo or that some of these mainstream platforms don't want to quote unquote waste the time to develop a Switch app because it's so far behind in technology or whatever excuse those companies want to use.
But doesn't Netflix like still work on the Nintendo Wii though?
Yes.
No.
Well, not the Wii. I think the Wii U, perhaps.
Nope.
Oh, they shut it all down.
Yeah, it's all shut down. Yeah, it's
all shut down. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
all
the
shut
fact
down.
that it was even on the Wii U and it's not on the Switch is embarrassing, in my opinion. And it's not like, here's the thing. You're talking about an install base at this point of 80 million people. Because we did a video on this, Byron. The sales numbers were like, 79 million or something like that? Switches sold, like total? Yeah. These companies look at this as like, there are 79 million users that we could potentially have using our apps and our services. And you think for a second they would be like, you know what, nah, there's no point in doing that. We don't want our apps on we want our apps on all the other consoles and all the other platforms, but we don't want it on Nintendo Switch. Byron, the common denominator in all those companies and these deals is Nintendo themselves. You actually can't convince me that outside of Hulu, that Nintendo isn't either being unreasonable in setting up these deals with them, or their online is so shoddy and so poor that maybe they just can't accommodate all these apps and companies. That's one thing we haven't discussed. Like, maybe it's just that they can't accommodate the apps. Maybe that's what it actually is. And that's just a bigger problem as a whole. The only reason I brought them up is because I feel like for an online service that we already pay $20 a year for, which even then I still feel like it should be free because they offer absolutely nothing outside of Nintendo Switch Online games and whatnot and online play. That was already available. At least the online play was already available in the first year that the Switch was released for free. They have offered almost no new services for that money, and they're just taking our money. So if you want to say, okay, well, the service itself is for the Nintendo online games for the old platforms, I could get behind that. But the problem is if I'm paying for a rental of all these games and whatnot, I want it to be just that. And I want the online play we already had for free still available for free. I just think ultimately the whole thing is just absolutely scummy. I understand that you disagree, but that's just where I'm at. I'm not sure where you're at, Yoshi.
I just want improved online services. Honestly, that's all I'm asking for.
Yeah.
At the very least, I will wait until a price comes out.
So Slade's like 5-minute rant over.
Yeah.
Before Slade wanted to rant, I was going to get to the N64 lineup. Let's get to that. We have Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Dr. Mario 64, Yoshi Story, Ocarina of Time, Sin and Punishment, Mario Tennis, and Win Back. That is your launch lineup for Nintendo 64 Switch Online. Your thoughts on the line?
Pretty good lineup overall. I think it's definitely a great lineup to start with, naturally, because you have Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. You already have arguably the most forward-pointing games outside of Smash on the platform already. Because, I don't know about you guys, but if you point to any 4 or 5 64 games, I would say those are the most important ones.
Absolutely.
They also have a very fantastic lineup of upcoming 64 games. Yeah, including one that definitely caught me off guard, but really shouldn't have in retrospect.
So the Nintendo in the Direct scrolled by these images. I tried to get as good of screenshots as I could get. So we have Majora's Mask, Mario Golf, Pokemon Snap, F-Zero X, Kirby 64, Paper Mario, and motherfucking goddamn sons of bitches Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes. So, honestly, the future lineup actually has me a little bit more excited than the base lineup. Overall, seeing Banjo-Kazooie here was a very pleasant surprise because, I tell you, I honestly did not think this would be a title we would see here. Yoshi, what do you think?
I'm honestly... When I saw Banjo-Kazooie as the last one, like, oh wait, that opens up a bunch of possibilities. That one game opened up the floodgates of people going to ask Microsoft to start releasing games from the Rare Replay onto the Nintendo Switch Online. And I see Banjo, and now I'm thinking maybe they will re-release M-rated game, but Conker's Bad Fur Day. Also.
Nah. But so
I hope so.
My thoughts. I feel mixed. Not that Banjo-Kazooie is a bad game. It's a fucking great game. But the fact that we're getting the N64 version kind of breaks my heart a little bit, because that does mean we're not going to be getting the superior, the doesn't run at 20 FPS, the one that doesn't take your notes if you die in a world, meaning you have to recollect them, Xbox Live arcade version.
First and foremost, I'm pretty sure the FPS problems will be fixed. Probably because the FPS problems were actually more prevalent in Banjo-Tooie than Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, there were a few in Kazooie, but it wasn't as bad as it was in
this is a Nintendo Switch running the 64 title. And yes, it's a emulated version of the title. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to run very smooth for the most part. I think the Switch is a big boy. It can handle the games.
Yeah.
It's not pushing the game to its limit like Rare loved to do on the 64. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't realize that the games Rare was like throwing out back then. They constantly pushed the 64 to its limits.
Yep.
Like games like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie especially. Banjo-Tooie
Yep.
actually broke those limits, and that's why frame rate was so bad. But
Yeah.
overall, I'm hoping this means, like Yoshi said, we see a bunch of games for Rare Replay and whatnot. Because
I also make.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. No,
you first.
you go ahead.
Like, sir, you're the
You-
guest.
No. You first. Finish your thought. Finish your
Okay,
thought.
I hope that by seeing Banjo-Kazooie, we will see other Rare titles like Perfect Dark, like 007 GoldenEye eventually. I would also really love to see Diddy Kong Racing. And
Yeah.
my cult classic, I love the game even though everyone says it's bad. I want to see Donkey Kong 64. Let's go, baby.
That's the
My-
thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Talk about right there.
My
Like, I wanna-
coconut gun fires and spurts. If it shoots you, it's gonna hurt.
So I'm actually a little surprised that Donkey Kong 64 wasn't in the games planned for future release. Actually.
Maybe like this also added on to the topic of that. Like, how do you think the Nintendo Switch Online would handle games that require like an expansion pack?
I think
Like-
it will be auto. It has the expansion pack. Because
Yes.
most games that even if they don't require the expansion pack, don't like fucking keel over and die. Like let's say Resident Evil 2 on N64.
You just gotta remember that the Switch is a big boy console. It's gonna
Yeah.
handle these games just fine. It's not like the 64, which needed the expansion pack to run games like Donkey Kong 64 and Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So there is one game series we already mentioned earlier, and I'm gonna make this my last talking point about NSO, N64 anyways. Remember this N64 fucking controller right here. Mario Party 1 will not, I repeat, will not be on NSO because of that damn fucking analog stick. Now I know, look, only Switch Online members will get it, so not many people will. But I still feel like Mario Party 1 will not be on there, and Mario Party 3 will not be on there as well because, you know, as we saw with Superstars, Nintendo hates Mario Party 3.
yeah, just like looking at that overall in terms of like Mario Party games, we might not get any actually.
No, I think we get one.
Well,
Mario Party 2.
I
Mario
think
Party.
they're, covering their basis with the Mario Party 1 through 3 nostalgia with Mario Party Superstars. So if we do get any, it's way off in the future at the very least.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But you also could have said like, oh, Mario 64 might not be on Switch Online because of fucking 3D All-Stars.
You know, that's true. I guess I gotta remember that Nintendo, in terms of scumminess, is somewhat like EA now, so I have to respect that.
I mean, at the same time, remember, Mario 3D Collection was a limited edition. They wanted to sell that game first before they released 64 on the Switch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's also
It
that's
just
also
feels
that-
like they're just getting everyone to double dip for the game, and it sucks. But overall, I think the thing that's most exciting about this is obviously the multiplayer online aspect. I think everyone's looking forward to dogfights and Star Fox 64.
Yep, dogfights in Star Fox 64, puzzling your opponents into Dr. Mario 64.
Please tell me they
smashing-
left all the bullshit.
smashing some aces in Mario Tennis, kart racing in Mario Kart 64.
That's the one thing I wanted to add on that, too, that we're finally getting
Online
4
Mario Kart
players.
64.
4 players online. And I'm a little-
Official.
I'm a
Official.
little scared about this because Switch Online.
Please
Yeah.
tell me
But-
they're not patching Mario Kart 64. Literally, all the bullshit you could do in 64 is there. Please tell me.
I highly doubt they'll patch these.
Please. They might for like an online experience. People playing Mario Kart 64 and start crying because somebody knows supercuts. Or somebody held the fucking shock on Wario Stadium. And literally nobody could get to pass the ramp without being shocked, without permission. Like Mario Kart 64 had so much bullshit, Byron. You don't even know. You don't even know.
You know what?
Really touched
Slade?
because-
Oh,
Nah,
sorry.
go
Go ahead. But you just reminded me of something. Uh, for Super Mario 64, since they gave us like the updated version on the collection pack, do you think they will give us the original Mario 64 on the Switch Online?
I think we're getting the updated one, like with the packs. That's what they also did for the, eShop Mario 64 for the Wii. And then we've gotten that version of Mario 64 every time the game's re-released since then. So, yes, there's probably not going to be any backwards long jumping. They probably fixed the, 16-star speedrun clips with Snips. I think that's the bunny's name. I always forget.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to see any of that. So
Assuming that means these might be the patch version of these other games as well.
yeah, I think because all these games had to re-release in Europe, and the PAL versions have typically been updated from the original NTSC versions released in America and Japan.
Yep.
And then you got to remember that these games also got updates when they were put on Virtual Console and the Wii and Wii U eShops. So
Right.
yeah, these all are definitely going to be updated versions of these games. So
Yeah.
either
And,
way, we're pretty ignoring the fact that I went on a 5-minute rant that Nintendo is a scummy company. I do think that playing these 64 games online officially is very cool. And then the fact that they also got Sega Genesis is also very cool. I think for me, the judgment is going to be based on price point. Because I think if it's anything more than $10 than what we already pay a year, then obviously I will feel extremely ripped off. I honestly already feel ripped off as it is.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like probably a $10 increase, but who knows? So that was the direct, and that's our longest episode ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had a third guest. I had some good times getting my rant in. Yoshi, I hope you had a good time coming in, man.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely fun talking about this. I'm glad I have people in here that understands like things I enjoy and things I'm also complaining about Nintendo, but we getting a lot from them, and I'm happy that we get so much coming out this year and next year.
Oh yeah, for the rest of this year, especially October, like dear God, October, it's going to be absolutely stacked. We're very excited. Anyways, this has been Slade.
And this has been Byron and Yoshi. Tell the people where they can find you.
If you want to find me specifically, you could follow me on my Twitch account, twitch.tv/YoshiPhoenix. I stream a lot, mostly Fire Emblem, but aside from that, I do play a bunch of other type of games, mostly late at night. If you don't find me on stream, I'm also available on Twitter. I do scroll that a lot. I'm active there if you want to see my drawings and such. But yeah.
So
Alrighty,
anyways, yeah, that's it, everyone. We will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Also, before we go, let us know in the comments what your favorite moment of the direct was. But anyways, that's it, everyone. We will see you next time.